Dobra, lecimy na następny filmik.
Good evening, Mr. Nethercott.
And good evening to you too.
Dobra, to już wcześniej widzieliście w ostatniej chwili. Co tak późno
May I
robisz?
ask what
Gadaj.
you're doing at this hour tonight, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
But are you not...
Oh, I should have...
Dobra, to musimy ominąć, bo to pierdoły jakieś.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad.
Każda ciekawostka odblokowuje u innej postaci
You remember London
możliwość
before the flu?
albo łączy dwie
Noisy,
postacie.
cacophonic,
Widzieliście
quiet,
wcześniej.
nowhere to be found.
Od jednej do
And now,
drugiej i okazało się, że lekarz kurde popełnił błąd tam, jak pamiętacie, z wcześniej to dość intensywnego widzenia. Widzę, że...
Yes,
Dobra.
the enjoyable silence of the grave. You have a unique perspective on the situation, I must admit.
most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
Dobra.
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
To niebezpieczne okolice. Ktoś pomocy w niebezpieczeństwie.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you for a start, my dear doctor.
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, doctor, and my family despises me.
Czekajcie, F. O, widzicie? Jest przeziębiony.
Do you need medical attention, sir?
It may be wise to let you prescribe me something. I don't feel like I should.
No, nie ma co się dziwić.
I understand your appetite
Wytworzyłem
for
trochę
words
lekarstw.
and
Masz.
carb
Co więcej.
tea, sir. But you should
Dałoby
be
się
more careful.
zrobić
The
trochę więcej.
nutrition of my mind is more important than my
To
physical
jest taki
health.
lekarz, który chodzi
But
i
I
jeszcze ludzi
appreciate your
uzdrawia.
concern,
Daje
sir.
im różne lekarstwa. Jak widzieliście, tutaj osobiste.
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
In what way exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles and the added hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox. The stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir, Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like a wonderful chameleon.
What can you
Dobre.
tell me about Camellia?
Jakby tak każdy człowiek mówił, tak jak oni napisali to.
She can't speak, you know. She's a locked mystery who exhales kindness and sweetness.
O, ciekawostka wyszła.
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your news.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives?
Czyli warto pierwsze uleczyć kolesia i później pogadać.
Maybe I
Lepiej
prefer she remains an
więcej
enigma.
roz.
Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
Dobra, wracamy z tego, wracamy z tego, wracamy z tego. To są, czekajcie, to osobiste sprawdziłem, Londyn, o jeszcze tutaj.
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to
Jak
feel the
białe
real
jest, czyli
beat of the
coś,
city. I
jakaś
had to
nowa
come, see it
ciekawostka.
for myself, alone.
Nie? Dziwne. No dobra.
ask you a few questions about the district.
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But sorry, no,
Jak
never
żuraw,
heard of it.
nie powiem gdzie. Ach,
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu. Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
bo więcej już nic nie ma.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Dobra, no to narka. Tutaj coś jest.
Some of us come to this world already touched.
Będzie odleśmy.
Oh,
O,
silent flower.
czekajcie, a co to było wcześniej? Odmowa z wydawnictwa jakiegoś. Tu jest łańcuch. Sprawdzimy cię. Dobra. Mapka. I musimy przejść jeszcze naokoło. Dobra. Ciśniemy, szkoda czasu. Wiecie, sprawdźmy dokładnie tutaj, bo może coś minę. Tam, tu, tam, ale... Dobra, lecimy, szkoda czasu. Tego to już chyba nawet nie rusza. A jak ruszyć mogę? Nie. Tak się świeciło jak... nie powiem co. Odblokowałem się drzwi. Dobra. Ty. Odczep się. Z tobą chcę porozmawiać.
Good
No.
evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
No. Kamelia.
I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly.
Dobra. Widzicie? Mamy ten.
I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being rude, does it?
Dobra.
Tell me about Richard Nivicott. I understand he is quite fond of you, Camellia.
Ona nic nie mówi. Czyli czekajcie. Jest zdrowa.
Camellia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever.
Kurde, serio?
Very well.
Nie, to nie. Kurwa, siłowanie się z tym to jest na masakra. Tu trzeba pada za nic, nie załadować, nie. Czekajcie, można wyjść? Nie. Dobra, ale to gościuba. Czekajcie, mapa. Oj, czekajcie, tutaj widzę jedną cheatem, żeby nie zmarnować. O! Dariusa, patrzcie, liści
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more
To
leverage.
ten świetnie, który podarł niby, tak?
Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
Dobra. Czyli wracamy z powrotem tam, gdzie byliśmy. O. Czekajcie, tutaj coś pisze. Kwarantanna? Serio? Patrzcie. Kurde, ja bym chciał sobie popatrzeć. Twierdzę, że tam jesteście zobaczki. mordę wam liczyłem. Ale w tym momencie jeszcze jedno mnie zastanawia. Tutaj gdzieś była jakaś brama śmieszna, w której mógłbym coś odblokować, ale sprawdzę, czy mogę go odblokować. O. No i to już jest odblokowane. Nie. Wolę już odblokować ją, później żeby wymieniła się to. Dobra. Dobra, mapka. Lata. Kto to jest?
Change your mind, Mr.
A.
Reed?
Czekajcie. O.
Clayton Darby claims he will expose the crisis in Whitechapel to all of London. Do you believe him?
I believe Clayton's courage will erode with time, until he finally leaves Whitechapel to start another fight somewhere else.
Why this
Doświadczenia
skepticism?
pana.
How can you speak about starvation if you've never been hungry? Or about poverty? Or anything else you have never suffered?
Nie wiesz co, ty mówisz.
Are you talking from experience?
I've seen your type come here to get a good fuck in a cheap room or a dark alley before going back to their fancy houses in the West End.
Dobra. Czyli więcej wskazówek nie ma. Dziękuję. Narka. Tutaj widziałem jakąś kobiecinę. A, kobiecinę. Przepraszam, to ksiądz.
Good evening.
It's far.
A to chyba jeszcze będą pogadać z nim? Nie? Sprawdźmy. A, nie ma.
I
Szkoda.
have heard enough.
Myślałem, że może będą mógł coś zrobić, a tu widzę, że nie. Dobra. Wracamy z powrotem. Tylko wkurzać mnie to zaczyna, że ten kurde do niego wyłącza.
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
Co? Przetrwanie to jedna spraw na pewno.
Most people don't become thugs when unemployed. This is a choice you made.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons. And that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
O! Widzicie? No, i już mamy wskazówki. Jak takimi opiekami się gada po kolei, to się dostaje różne wskazówki i za tego expy lecą, jak widzieliście. Teraz pogadajmy z tym. Bo czuję, że każdy z nich... Czekajcie. O! Ma coś? Nie ma. Ma coś? O!
Joe Peterson. He's the villain here, isn't he? But you seem to know each other.
I'd known Joe for years. I saw him box once or twice. He was a friend then. But these days, he's just another thug.
Jaka trochę że...
What can you tell me about Mr. Peterson? Besides his behavior toward you, obviously.
Colossus Joe was a decent boxer, good one even. But after his wife passed away, he found every excuse to stop training. Just wanted to pick fights with everyone.
Without making excuses for him, it's safe to say that despair can poison even the sanest mind.
We've all had some rough times, ain't we? But most of us don't use our fists to see us through.
And no one has ever stood up to this thug.
Nobody would be fool enough to stand against a wet boot boy.
Ja im dam. Czekajcie, sprawdźcie, co on ma tam. Dobra, hajs zbieramy, bo hajs może być, że jakąś broń będzie można kupić, jakiś fragment z czynnych w tych pierdół, to ja na razie sobie odpuszczam, Jeszcze chcę pozbierać trochę. Później pomyślimy co dalej. Dobra, dzięki. Joel, chodź ty skurczybyku.
You again?
Dobra, pogadajmy jeszcze chwilkę. Zobaczmy, czy możemy jeszcze jakoś pogadać, nie? Jesteś zdrowy.
Goodbye,
Dobra.
Mr. Peter.
Czekajcie, a ten gostek, który tu był zdrowy? No ja już nie pamiętam, czy to wcześniej
Never-
jakoś tak zdrowy, dobra. Proszę,
Goodbye for now.
lecimy dalej. No to jest Joey. Kurde, Joey, dlaczego ty taki szybki jesteś? O, patrzcie. A ty tu czego?
Mr. Bates.
Evening.
Dobra, czekajcie. Tu już pełne. Tu jeszcze wskazówka jest nieodblokowana. Potrzebuję wskazówki. Dobra.
Goodbye.
Ja się dowiem. Kurczę, ja się dowiem.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again. Go away.
O kurde. Tego to już nie mam.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your words have conviction. All right, I'll let you see Dorothea. Don't make me regret this, though.
Serio? No trochę za chwilkę. A najpierw sprawdźmy, co on tu ma. O, widzicie? Dolca. Kradnijmy dolce. Tu jest ten jakiś czeko. To jest pan Goldek. Pan Goldek. Dobra, o. Wskazówka. Nowy przedmiot do zebrania. Dobra, cieszę się bardzo. Sejfik.
It's
O,
locked, all right.
i to właśnie nie wiem jak sejfik tutaj się odblokuje. I to jest ból właśnie. Może umiejętność jakaś. Trzeba będzie popatrzeć. O.
If you want to...
We've not been...
I have.
Mhm. Czy jesteś zdrowy? Środek do zobaczenia czegoś tam nie potrzebujesz.
Do you need some help?
Oj,
I am very...
nie podawaj
Well.
lekarstwa. Czekajcie, sprawdźmy. O!
So Dorothy's real name is not Crane.
Like myself and many people in this area, Dorothea is from occupied Romania. That's
Może
all
mi się
you
uda
need to
tutaj
know.
pogadać
She seems
jeszcze.
important to the community.
Tym gostkiem jak
More than
najwięcej.
you can imagine. The West End does not want to hear of Whitechapel's misery. Dorothea is one of the few doing something about it.
Oj,
Tell
kurczę.
me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe
No.
in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to give out
Anioł
medical
wcielony, kurde.
Who is she, really? Do you know where she's from?
She's not from around here, that's all we know. Camellia is not even her name. It's her favorite flower.
You say she has no close family.
Well, there's that awful poet who constantly follows her around like a lost puppy. A good man for sure, but a very poor writer.
Are you not worried for her safety?
She is as brave as she is tough, and clever too. If only I had met her when I was younger.
Are you in love with Camellia, Mr. Petrescu?
Don't be stupid. If I had met her when I was younger, we could have won our revolution.
Dobra.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to give out our medical leaflets.
No i co? I tyle? Psy. Aha, czyli co z tego
Tell
jak
me
ona...
everything.
I do not...
Czekajcie, mówią, muszę jeszcze tutaj...
Who is
Coś...
you?
Well,
To już było.
I
Nie, ja powtórzyłem to, dlatego się bo chciałem zobaczyć. Czyli coś jeszcze odblokuję sobie. Osobiste? A.
Do you have any family left, Mr. Petrescu? Children or grandchildren?
who knows? I have abandoned my people for so long, they might as well be dead.
No, ty
As
stary
dead
dziadzie.
I am for them, I suppose.
Don't be embarrassed, sir. If you must know, my own father disappeared many years ago, and I forgave him.
It's quite awkward to talk about our families like this, but thank you, Dr. Reed. I appreciate your trust.
This war won't last forever.
No. I have taught strength and determination to my sons and daughters. I'm an old, dying man who only has memories of better times to cherish.
How did you meet Nurse Crane, Darius? Why does she trust you?
I'm her oldest friend in England. Dorothea and I shared many ideas about this country and about the country we left.
You mean occupied Romania, don't you? Even if not directly, I fought against your enemies.
Really? Then perhaps you have more in common with Dorothea than meets the eye, Dr. Reed.
Chodźmy do
I
dalej.
know you fought for your country when it was occupied, Darius. Tell me more about it.
I know my days are numbered, and I know I won't see my homeland again. But I fought for Romania all my life, and I will until my last breath.
But Romania escaped the grasp of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It's a free country again.
It is not the country I fought for. My homeland is not appeased, Doctor. And I still see a dark future ahead for my people.
Słuchajcie, to pomijam, dobra. Myślałem, że coś odblokowałem wcześniejszym jeszcze, dobra. Dobra. Poczekaj, zerknijmy, dobra. Nie, idziemy dalej. Dobra, to niby odblokowane. O, czekajcie. Jest możliwość odblokowania? Jest. Dobra, odblokowałem sobie te. Trzeba wszystko odblokować, bo później będzie ciężko wejść. Bo do gąska drugi raz. Jak odblokujecie, no to zapomniecie, to będzie inaczej. Trzeba odblokować wszystko. Pootwierać. Nie daj Boże, że coś tam wyjdzie inaczej. Wyjść do Crane. Zbieramy wszystko. W całej tej rozgrywce muszę kaskę jakieś robić, więc zbieramy wszystko. Kradniemy, zbieramy i tyle. Nie wszystkie itemy się wyświetlają tam na tych. Zaraz. Ucieknij, jak cię ugryzie, to będę mógł.
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Razvan Vasily. High fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain. Diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Thank you, nurse. Anything else I should know?
He did lose consciousness this morning, but he's never had convulsions like these.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
What can I do, Doctor?
Proszę to. Żyj.
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor.
Zatrzymy
He's
go.
breathing again, but he's
Na
coughing
żywca
up blood.
bierzemy. Dlatego ci lekarstw nie dam.
I need to make another incision into the
Czujesz się
chest
jak
cavity
ja.
to drain the
Kiedyś
fluids from the
znowu.
lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy. Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Right
Well.
then, Nurse Crane. What do you suggest we do?
I've no idea. I'm not the doctor.
Time is of the essence. We need to perform a thoracic drain.
Yes, Doctor. He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
Żyj,
The drain must have
skurczysynie.
punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see. Yes. Yes. I have this, nurse. Allow me to finish the procedure alone. I need the room.
I'd prefer to stay and see this through. This is my patient, Doctor. I have needle and thread for stitching the wound.
Kurde.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor.
Że jest, kurczę. Epinefrynę. Pobudźmy.
A dose of epinephrine, now.
Yes, Doctor.
Pobudźmy go. Co, zmarł? Serio? Aż tak sobie ze mnie lekarz? Kurde no.
We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Nurse, we did everything we could.
Truly?
Kurde,
Everything you
mogliśmy
could.
masaseczę mieć.
Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
A, myślałem przez chwilę, że ugryzie go. No i dobra, produkcji będzie, dobra. Czekajcie, bo zaraz znowu mnie zagada. O,
It's locked, all
nie wiem,
right.
jak oni to ten blokowują. To jakieś klucze specjalnie trzeba, czy co? O, zobaczmy, co my możemy tutaj zrobić.
I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
Mhm. Czyli końcowa zablokowana tam.
I've come to put an end to this insufferable blackmailing, Dorothy.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
But why Lady Ashbury? Why her, of all people?
She's pristine and proper,
O,
all right. But
ludzie.
that she-wolf in sheep's clothing murders the poor for sport.
Dobra, będzie film
I have her
dłuższy.
where she belongs, and I'll milk
Już jak
her for all
zacząłem, to
she's
już
got.
to... Dobra,
Dr. Swan...
It's easy for...
dobra. Poświęcimy
So,
trochę
I know you-
żeby przepędzić te zwykłe te
You've
rozmowy.
convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
Nie, no po co?
Listen very carefully, Dorothy. You will erase from your memory everything you pretend to know about Lady Ashbury and Pembroke Hospital.
Let that rich bitch off the hook over my dead
Nurse
body.
Crane, enough. Listen as if your life depended on every word. I know you've a generous heart who gives freely to those in need, but you shall walk away from the shadier streets of your business.
I will never abandon...
Dorothy, the discussion has come to a close. Your clandestine activities in the Resistance are over. Let it go.
I'll let it go. Yes. All gone.
Kurde, serio? Osiągnięcie dostałem. Ładne, hipnoza. Jak cię sunę, ludzie, widzieliście? Dobra, kończymy ten filmik. Lecimy z następnym.